Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. It's in the description below, tmosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Hot off the 60th anniversary of the Reverso model back in 1991, a reinvigorated Jaeger-LeCoultre manufacturer launched into its first modern-day haute horlogerie craft Reverso offering, and this is it. In 1992, built through 2002, we first saw the Reverso Art Deco. Now, the watch, properly speaking, is Art Deco on the front, more Art Nouveau on the reverse side, but we'll explore that after basic dimensions. This is the Grande Taille case, created in 1991 for the Reverso 60. It was the 60th anniversary Reverso, and this case at the time was considered to be the big Reverso. So 42.3 millimeters lug-to-lug, 26.1 millimeters from side to side, 9.6 millimeters thick with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. As with most Reversos, the fit is a little bit idiosyncratic, though not a big watch across the wrist. The way it sits, it's broad, flat, and plank-like. The strap has a little bit of stiffness to it, so I recommend you consider this watch suitable for wrists 14 centimeters circumference or larger, unless you fit a much softer strap. That said, the watch looks fantastic on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and I've owned two Reverso complications in this case size, and it was a wonderful match. Being flat with a vaulted case flank, it slides easily underneath a dress cuff, as a watch like this should. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, you can see a simple Jaeger-LeCoultre rose gold pin buckle, and then a light brown, large rectangular scale alligator leather, slightly bolstered and stuffed, sheer cut side, monotone stitch strap, calfskin on the bottom, a brand new Jaeger-LeCoultre factory strap. You can see gator on the top, calf on the bottom, and in typical Reverso fashion, the lugs are drilled very close to the case, so you can't see daylight between strap and case, and that creates a very integrated look that's aesthetically pleasing. The Reverso case has always been more sophisticated than the straight-on shots you see on the internet would lead you to believe. It's vaulted and rounded on its case flank with these wraparound strakes or gadroons. You can see that the ends of the lugs are actually curved, conical, and come to a point. This is a much more sophisticated form than the rectangle it often appears to be online. This is no Cartier tank. You can also see that those strakes or gadroons run all the way around the watch. It's a handsome case that juxtaposes curves and also rectilinear geometries. From the front, you can see that the watch is rectangular, the bezel is rectangular, the dial is rectangular, the crystal is rectangular, and yet you do have those arcs and curves when viewed from any other angle. The crown is lightly countersunk, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb from the case band, and the dial is the most distinctly Art Deco part of the watch. We'll talk about why that is in a moment, but let's focus on the highlights. This dial is a combination of vertical stainless steel-like satination with an etched dimple track outboard, sort of a sawtooth pattern, individual diamond polished and faceted dart style rose gold indices with rose gold faceted Dauphine style hands and Jaeger-LeCoultre logo. You have a sunken small seconds with a little railroad track, and then a lovely billowing roseleigh, the guillot-shaped pattern cut at center. This, with a combination of hard angles juxtaposed to curves, is distinctly Art Deco. This, however, is more Art Nouveau. When I see this, I think Gustav Klimt. This is a watch that harks back to the era immediately preceding the creation of the Reverso in 1931, as well as the era of the Exposition des Arts Décoratifs that started after 1925. These are fluid, organic, almost biomorphic forms. You can see it looks like a movement that melted and then flash froze in the process of liquefying. So what you're looking at here is the caliber 822 AD for Art Deco. It's basically the caliber 822, which is shaped and sized for the Grande Taille case, but every single bridge has been evacuated, skeletonized, and then freehand engraved with a burin. No lathes used here. All of this was achieved by hand and eye coordination. You'll note that the screw heads are fired. All of these are fire-blued screws. They are not the dyed variety. All of the bridges have been gilt-laden with a rose gold cap, and you can see that the wheels are open and visible, with the barrel itself skeletonized and opened up, and the spokes of the barrel are actually that back-to-back JL manufactured manufacturer logo. Manual wind with a 21.6 beat rate. It has a 45-hour power reserve and pivots on 21 joules. It is a surpassing achievement, especially since they can get 45 hours of power reserve out of something so compact and spare. It is an absolutely gorgeous movement and true handcrafted high horology art. I always say that the distinction between luxury horology and high horology is that high horology involves extensive hand finishing, hand tuning, and handcraft, and that's exactly what you get here. Approximately 900 of these were made in rose gold and 200 were made in white gold over the 10 years that the watch was offered, with no more than 12 being made per month at any given time. This is true handcrafted rarity. 30 meters water resistant, but please don't take this watch swimming. Reach out to tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.